Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast brought to you by Manscaped.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our WrestleSlam YouTube channel as well, guys. It's there. Been there a while now, and we appreciate all the new subscribers. We do put up stuff regularly there as well. And our latest interview with Chris Bay is there, and of course, our interview with Charlie Crew drops this Saturday as well. So, yet again, make sure that you do check that out, guys. I'm joined by Matt and Phil. We have a brand new episode, as always, every week. And we're going to go straight to it, lads. We recorded on a Saturday. Smackdown was last night. And there was a beautiful, beautiful little segment with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And it looks like the band is back together, Phil. Matt, what's your thoughts, Matt, on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn being together? And it looks like, they're going to win a charge for the titles at Mania via tag team titles.
We've been saying this for a while now. We've been saying that it's going to be Sami and Kevin Owens taking on the Usos, but seeing them actually unite, seeing them actually hug, that just warmed my heart. I was just like, yeah, we never asked this. I thought it was just going to be a straight up, I don't like you, you don't like me, but we have like a cute common enemy in the bloodline. But seeing them actually reunite, actually like hugging it out, I was like, yes, I'm on board with this. I was holding on hope it was going to be Cody versus Roman versus Sami, but showing this one moment to make me think, yeah, I'm on board with this, lads.
Yeah, and I think, Phil, we were kind of critical at one stage, weren't we? I think we all were, like, that we wanted Sami to be the triple threat with Roman and Cody at Mania. But, like, that little segment last night, Phil, it was kind of good, wasn't it? It's the way the crowd kind of, they got involved, you know what I mean? When he came into the ring, Sami was getting ready to fight him, but, like, well, not fight him, I suppose, defend himself. He wasn't going to hit him back, but that little moment when they hugged was class. I think that would be something that would be remembered for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. But what I was going to say is, right, SmackDown last night was probably the best SmackDown I've seen, and I can't remember.
In the last couple of years?
Yeah, like the storytelling through the whole show, there was actually story-based stuff. It wasn't just random match after random match with the odd thing thrown in, but like the whole thing with Cody Rhodes being a moderator as well was cool. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think SmackDown was fantastic. Obviously caught the highlights, but like incredible, I must say, incredible.
I agree with Phil there. Like, I think this is actually so far the best SmackDown of this year, because I think Phil even mentioned himself, it's not just a random matches put together just because they need to fill in a spot. They each had stories, so that's how you make a good weekly show. Have a match that has a story around it. So
yeah, and obviously, look, a lot of positive stuff with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I love their friendship, their rivalry. You know what I mean? They're two giants when it comes to wrestling. Great stories. Sheamus has been around a long time, lads, a long time. But what was your thoughts on that, Phil?
The match was a banger, but no, I knew it wasn't going to end particularly well. But the ending isn't as bad as I thought it could have been. But it was good. Like, the match was great. Got to the point again. Storytelling was on point. It got to where we need to go, the three-way. What's the story now? Will they give Drew McIntyre his moment? I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough. How do they do it? Like, I think he's very he's not one bit selfish, Drew McIntyre. I think he could be rooting maybe for Sheamus to be the Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough. Matt Murphy, what do you reckon?
I had a feeling there was going to be a triple threat match since last week with the draw, but what I reckon is I would love to see Sheamus winning the match, like it's called championship, because they'll actually pull out everything they can, especially with Drew and Sheamus. It won't just be a random match like no one's gonna get links in. It's gonna be a decent, good triple threat match, but I can see Sheamus winning, like having another like a WrestleMania moment for himself. Drew had like plenty of WrestleMania moments at the moment. Not hasn't any shaded Drew, but gonna have to go with Sheamus on this one. Either Drew or Sheamus, but so gonna have to go with Sheamus in this one. That's how I feel like I aim for this now. So if Walter wins, that'll make him look powerful. But that's my predictions for WrestleMania. Might change, but you never know.
Going to have a bold prediction. This is going to be the best match on the WrestleMania night 1 and 2.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the crowd want the bangers these days, don't they? They want the whipping, the chopping, the powerhouses. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. I'm looking forward to night 1. And night 1 will be always an epic night. Night 2 is a night where many a man will fall asleep at about 2 a.m.
It's a
You have
tough
to be
one.
a real warrior to stay awake for that, don't you?
Yeah, like the thing as well, like you have to remember is NXT is on the day before as well. So
Yeah.
so there's a lot to pack, like.
And even for the
you have
fans
to
that
also
travel
remember. You have to also remember. There's also coffee, lads. That can be on your side.
Yeah.
I agree. But it's geared up nicely. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania night 1, night 2. Both will be live at the Macau Casino, Cork City. So for all you Corkonians, for all you fans around Munster, for all you fans around Ireland, WrestleMania night 1 and night 2 will be live at the Macau Casino, Cork City. So make sure you go, enjoy, try the food. There's a luxury restaurant to choose from. Mint restaurants at Macau Casino. You have there's drink, there's an incredible atmosphere. We've done many WrestleMania nights at the Macau Casino, Cork City. So you get in there, you enjoy it, and you can reserve seats if you want. And as you say, you'll see a lot of wrestling fans there as well. So absolutely looking forward to that. Now, lads, we have to talk All Elite Wrestling. Philip Connolly, give us your take on All Elite at the moment. There's a lot of stuff in the air. Tony Khan was trending last night. I always tend to trick and check to see why Tony Khan is trending. Not a nice, not you know what I mean. There's not really nice stuff being said. There's a lot of shit going on. So look, give us the lowdown on All Elite.
Somebody actually said yesterday, I think it was a former WWE ref, they think that Vince McMahon's secretly running AEW. It's that bad.
Yeah.
The problem with it is the last 6 months have been just unwatchable. I was talking to my brother yesterday about this because I think it was another example of it again. Wednesday night they signed another talent who I have no problem with, Taya Valkyrie. I think she's very good. But like, why sign her if you don't have a plan?
You're completely right. And they sign people and they never have a plan. Matt Murphy, we could probably name 15, 20 superstars in the next 10, 20 seconds that were signed out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They still don't know what they're doing with the other people they have.
Like the thing is, like, where's Ember Moon? There's a few of them. They're none of them are nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. I mean, like, lads, okay. I'm still a fan of AEW, but I'm finding it really difficult to watch the show. I'm finding it really difficult to support what's going on. I said this to ye countless times because there's so many times I don't know what the fuck Tony Khan is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you mentioned about Tara Valkyrie, like, I'm happy for her. She's going to be unreal, but it's just like I feel like AEW is just trying to rely on a big pop at the moment. I mean, how many times have we seen signs of big names or big-ish names on AEW, give them a huge match, give them a huge storyline, and then just like they just do nothing, just backstage at catering throughout the time. Like they really need to think before they fucking sign. I think that's what they need to realize is like, all right, let's sign this person. Okay, but what do we got for them? What we got for them now? Just plan before you think. Like, so that's exactly what AEW needs to do. Like, I want to say tone down on the re-signs and the new signs and just focus on the talent they have now, because that's going to cause more issues with current roster. They're not going to get their moment because they already signed another amazing wrestler. Like, so
it's
so I hope
it's not all doom and gloom because it looks like they're actually reforming the Elite full time.
That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Yeah. But when I look at the fact they have Rampage, Dynamite, I think
and another show to come as well.
They need to do a draft. I think they need to fucking align everything. You know, I think they have to get all the girls on the same page. You know what I mean? Maybe, you know, like Raw, SmackDown, like we know what's what and what's what. And you have All Elite Dark, which I actually enjoy. I like the Dark part because that's where you have all the indie stars trying to get their contracts.
Yeah.
So I think they need to not copy WWE, but they need to do something where like this, they grab everything by the balls and by the scruffs and whatever, and they say, "Fucking, this is what we need to do. This is how we're going to do it." We're gonna make more kind of sense with the titles. We're gonna do more like, you know, you have the Queen of the Ring coming back. Well, it's not as coming back. It's new. The Queen of the Ring is going to be there. The King of the Ring. They need to do certain kind of formats and just go for it. See what happens.
Like, if you were running a wrestling company tomorrow, what's a realistic number of talent a year to bring in? Like, these guys are bringing in 20 guys a year. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even have fucking 20 guys on the roster, lads.
When you,
yeah,
I know what you mean.
If I had it, like if I was doing a tour around Europe, I'd have 20 names and that's it maybe. Like, but I'm telling you, they need to, like, they have very few injuries. That's the horrible part about it. Like, they actually have talent that are always fresh.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are they doing? Like, no, the MJ, like,
there's too many wrestlers it's too hard to, like, my brother's lucky because he just follows Jon Moxley and he's always on it or whatever. But if you like 4 or 5 wrestlers and they're not on it for weeks, it's very hard to get lost in it.
So you're getting a lot of confusion for all the All Elite Wrestling fans. So obviously, All Elite might be back, but yeah, the fans are just in limbo all the time, lads, aren't they? They have so many great, you know what I mean, great wrestlers. They took all the wrestlers that we did not want to see leave WWE, like Malachi Black, you know, fucking all these great guys, and then they're not being used properly. It's the most frustrating fucking thing.
Yeah. It is frustrating. It's annoying because, again, like, Tony Storm is there. There's so many there. It's mad.
She seems really down out, doesn't she, Tony? Even though she's like with Ruby and Paige.
It's kind of the way we're on AEW there. Did you read the story about Jon Moxley? Was furious about tonight. OTT.
Apparently it's official, lads. Yeah. So I think Matt did it as well. I think it's obviously he's pissed off that he's not in Dublin.
Yeah, and as well, I'm assuming it's because of the match he's in as well. Is a great.
Yeah, he's been given praise about OTT. I remember when I was listening to him on, I think it was Talk is Jericho. He couldn't go due to the pandemic, unfortunately, and he was like really pissed about that. And I think he's even more pissed now that he was gonna go, but because AEW. What's his match he's in with AEW that he's missing out tonight?
Tag match.
Yeah, he's not excited for that.
Against Big Bill and Lee Moriarty.
It's mad. But like, I feel for OTT because to me, and I'm not just saying it, they are the best European independent promotion.
I feel bad for this whole thing with Eddie Kingston, to be honest.
Yeah, Matt Murphy wearing the t-shirt props. Obviously, it came out yesterday, as we know, guys, that Eddie Kingston tested for COVID. He's positive, which is it's mind blowing. I think the timing is crazy, and I feel bad for Eddie because from what I heard, he's looking forward to coming over.
Yeah,
that's the second time they're rescheduled. And you know what? I think the OTT fans, lads, in general, they've been brilliant. I think, look, 99% of the fans, they know the card is incredible. Like, you know, LJ Clary, Debbie versus Seth Martina.
Yeah.
You have Santino Morella. You know what I mean? You have the draw. There's just so much happening, and I know there's going to be many surprises at OTT Scrappermaina this weekend. But like Wolverhampton last night was incredible by the looks of it. You know what I mean? I've seen some of the entrances, and Joe, Mr. OTT himself, had the videos up. He put them up on Instagram and stuff. But it's just unfortunate, and I feel for Moxley. Moxley is a guy that I think when he gives his word, he wants to keep it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he said it. He said it. I think he definitely said it in his book that he actually wants to keep as much word as he can, and he's an honest fella. He's like no bullshit. He's very straightforward. Not just saying as a Moxley fella, as a Moxley fan, but that's who he is like. So I can imagine how much he's raging about this moment because it's like what Jerry said. OTT is the best wrestling show in the independents in Europe and at the moment. Like,
we got robbed of 2 great matches. Moxley and Trent Seven and Moxley and Big Demo.
They were being epic. And like, I'm no fucking magician. I'm no guy that knows nothing. But I just have that feeling, lads, and I know it could be critical of me to say this. I have that feeling that he's booked for another date with OTT, and I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
I personally reckon from from what I've seen and maybe one or two little hints from previous interviews there in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
One or two people have said to me, third time lucky.
Yeah.
So I think he is booked for another time, and I think that was part of the agreement. I don't know how fast they announced it, but I generally reckon that Moxley is booked to come to OTT, and that's it then. Like, he is coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely going to come. Definitely, like, so. Because again, Moxley probably has this on his list of wrestling things. He wants to come to OTT. We want to see him. I want to meet him. I might ask how to make the perfect sandwich, as he said in his book, for anyone out there that read his book. So you never know. But,
try meeting him in an airport while on the move. I'm going to give a funny story. I don't think I've ever talked about this story on our podcast. But long story short, we were on media duties, WrestleMania 35, and Moxley was obviously done with WWE at this stage. It was his last hurrah. I think Raw was his last hurrah. So obviously WrestleMania, then Raw on Monday, and we were leaving Tuesday. So in a nutshell, anyway, we arrived at a JFK airport, and obviously, look, fucking such a big airport, a lot going on. Walked in through the doors, and I just seen a guy with a leather jacket walk right past me. I was like, that's Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley. So I said nothing to Phil. I made a serious error. I just kind of like, fuck. So I legged it. I followed him in the sense.
Yeah, I was wondering where you went at that time. You legged it, like.
Yeah, so I had to get a drink anyway. First of all, I was dying for a piss, but I said, fuck. I just, child mode came out, like I could see him go into the shop. And the airport was busy, but so I said, no one probably spotted him. Like, so walking into the shop anyway, and I could see him he was getting like a bottle of water or a Gatorade or something. And I was like, I said, Dean Ambrose, like, I said, Dean, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, sure. Irish. And I was like, yeah. So I just took the selfie, like, and like typical, Jon Moxley style, like he gives that, like, that cool grin, and managed to get a picture. But I came back out of the shop aneway, and in a nutshell, Phil Connolly's in the middle of the airport just looking around, like, where the fuck is Jerry gone? Like, Jerry,
yeah, exactly.
How I went from Phil to Jon Moxley, well, without Phil actually seeing me, like, Phil, it was like a split second, I was gone, and there was a couple of seconds.
Renee was there too, by the way.
I was like, Phil.
Was there like a mutual?
Renee was there as well. Yeah, so
was there like a mutual respect once he found out that you're Irish? As in, like, you're Irish, you're automatically cool. And was there like a cheeky fist bump? You never know.
Like he could have easily. It's look, this day and age, it's very rare I'll approach someone. Like, if I've seen, like, I've often seen people I've met before. I'll never go there again. I'll leave them alone. But in an airport, I respect people's privacy. But it just happened to be Dean Ambrose, and it was the case he was leaving. So I just wanted to say, look, we're going to miss you. Good luck. So I managed to say, look, we're going to miss you. Best of luck with your future. I hope we see you in Ireland and that. But it was the funny part. Obviously, then I came out to the airport. Phil was like looking around. He was in the same spot as where I belted on. I was like, Phil. I was like, Dean Ambrose is in the fucking shop. He's like, what? And Phil fucking legged it then, and I stood in the spot Phil was in, and Phil went down and got the same picture. But
Phil, for God's sake.
it was
Do you know what? We were like, we're never going to meet this man ever again.
That's the reason we done it. Like, because I've been at an airport a million times, and I remember bumping into Harco Holly and Mark Henry and people, and like your cab. I remember fucking Darren Blake and Timmy Cronin. We were coming back from New Orleans, and I somehow booked a different flight, and Edge was on their flight, so I was on a different terminal in the airport, and the boys sent me a selfie. There's Edge sitting right next to him. They're both boarding the plane with Edge. I'm like, oh shit. So like, yeah.
Wait, did he actually get a selfie with Edge, or did he actually do a cheeky photo?
Oh, the boys got a full-on picture with Edge. Yeah, he was sitting in front of them in the plane.
Right. Okay. I thought it was like a sneaky photo. I'm like, no, he fucking didn't.
Yeah, no, because I was in another terminal. I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was surreal. But look, that's the only reason we approached Dean, given he was leaving. Like, if it was anyone else, I'd say we would just said, oh, hi.
No, exactly.
But we had to go on the chase, like, and we got a picture with Dean Ambrose, aka Moxley, and just a great guy. He had the time for us, just really cool story.
So you're saying that was the last image we ever saw of Dean Ambrose before he became Jon Moxley again?
Yep.
That's history, lads.
It was.
He
It
was
was
actually Jon Moxley at that point because he was actually gone.
Yeah, his contract was gone, so he was actually that could have been the first picture with Moxley.
Yeah.
Arrived on an airport.
Yeah.
There probably was because I don't know that anyone. He probably came straight from wherever the hotel to there, you know. So, but yeah, it is. Look, I don't justify the story the way it should, but it was funny. It was comical. The fact that me and Phil both disappeared in the midst of meeting Jon Moxley in the airport.
Do you know what was cool about it? I like the fact that he just hung out drinking beer in an airport just with irregular folks.
Yeah,
I've seen that. I've seen there was a guy that bought him a beer as well.
Yeah.
So if Jon Moxley does come to OTT, I'm probably not going to get a professional photo with him. I'm right there. I'm probably just asking, can I get a selfie just to fill the circle of the three of us? Now, finally getting a photo each.
Jon Moxley. Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. But I felt like I need to share that story. And yet again, look, he was. We were starstruck that day because it was Jon Moxley. But yeah, third time lucky. I believe he will come to Dublin. I reckon the date's already booked in, lads. I reckon it's going to be announced maybe at Scrappermaina. This weekend. So we'll see what happens. But we have to mention obviously Impact Wrestling. Phil, I've seen some great promos. Santina Morella, former WWF, well, not WWE. Sorry.
What's wrong with you, Jerry? For God's sake.
Yeah, and obviously I love all the promos Impact do at the moment. They're incredible. But Impact is in a good place. We had Chris Bay on this week as well. Check that out on YouTube. But what's your thoughts on Impact, boys?
Very good. It's very nice to see Kozlov on Impact last night.
He looks great, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And I know Tim Cronin loves he owes Tim a drink, doesn't he?
He does.
I remember that. Yeah. He said that. But yeah, I fucking loved it. If they do like a bring back an old tea party again next week on Impact, I'm not going to complain. This is just unreal. So I think Impact's in a good place at the moment. So, and it's a shame that not much people would focus on Impact. So,
it's the channel it's on. It's the channel it's on.
Yeah. So I would say that if you get a chance, watch Impact because I think they're just focusing on what they have at the moment, and that's just making a good wrestling show.
Yeah.
You actually hit it on the head there. You hit the nail on the head. They're focusing on the talent they have.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're completely right. Like even that promo, like when Joe Hendry comes out. I love Joe Hendry. He's fucking he was in that segment with Santino, and it's just beautiful.
Dirty Dango. I actually like Dirty Dango. He's funny.
Yeah, there are a few weeks ahead for that. They record in bulk, don't they?
Yeah. Actually, the first ever live Impact is at the end of the month. Well, not live, not the first ever, but the first in a while.
Yeah.
Live Impact. Yeah. They have a special next week as well.
And of course, they have that deal as well with DAZN.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. You never know. We might get Joe on the wrestling podcast talk, and if we're lucky, he might write a song for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it to him. I have to get Joe on. He's we've seen him in the past. He's a fucking mad team.
You can start singing with him, yeah.
I just realized DAZN's actually signed a deal with Sky.
No, not yet. No,
it has. I think it's Eddie Hearn. It was on the boxing front, so DAZN's actually going to be on the Sky box now. If you have Sky TV, DAZN.
Oh, the app. The app. Yeah.
So that could mean then, obviously, that if Impact is on DAZN or one of their many channels, then we have Impact.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Interesting.
They're actually a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier. Like use the talent you have. Don't overload.
Yeah.
No, they don't. We know Josh Alexander's been well worked with them. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's lads on Impact that not a lot of people would know, but Impact would actually make them into stars in some way, and we can end up chatting to them so. Because guarantee if they were on AEW, they won't get much of a spotlight.
Josh Alexander said that he'd be on Derek in 6 months. There you go.
He'd be what?
He'd be on Derek in a few months if he was in AEW.
Nah. It's Josh Alexander. They shouldn't do that to him. I feel like Josh will always be Impact. It'd be weird if we see him on WWE or AEW.
Yeah, it's just any time that we bring anyone on, lads, from Impact. Like we have an Impact guest. There's times we have them on four times a month, but it's the morale in the locker room is incredible. They all say it. The morale around the place is incredible. The way Impact looked after him, the way Impact let him do stuff outside of Impact. I think it's a great place to be.
I think it helps because Scott D'Amore is a really great guy as well.
Yeah. He's good for business.
Big congrats to him, actually, he got promoted.
Yeah, someone All Elite Wrestling can use if they had Scott in All Elite Wrestling. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's a busy weekend. Obviously, the Scrappermaina weekend all across the UK and Ireland. We also have RCW returns Good Friday. That will be a gigantic show. Gigantic. And for all your tickets, get on to eventbrite.ie. Is there anything else we have to mention, lads, before we wrap up another week?
This whole thing with Brock Lesnar. I actually was feeling that segment for some reason with Omos.
Yeah.
He looked like Brock looked so small compared to him. It was mad. It really was like.
I'm not gonna lie, I was skidding when he was like shaking Omos's hand. He tried to pull him in for an F5 and Omos did not budge at all.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the one match that I feel like we should talk about is Austin Theory versus John Cena. I mean, we've been talking about this will happen. Now it's actually happening. We're like, oh, grand. I feel like they're listening to the fans for once. So, I feel like they're going to have Austin Theory winning this one against John Cena. Yeah.
I'd love Cena to win it.
Yeah. I can't see John Cena winning.
Off if John Cena wins.
Yeah, because John Cena has a pretty busy schedule with filming and whatnot, so he can't really commit to WWE if he's winning the title. I can see Theory winning, and like what Cena says, he's not going to get noticed, but I feel like this will be a little bump for him if he gets to win over Cena. Like,
if it was a non-title match, Cena would have won.
Maybe.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I reckon they would have given Cena one more win because he's after taking nothing but losses now, pretty much the last. No, he's not the fall guy, but he's the guy to help the next guy. Austin Theory is obviously he's the next guy. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be the guy that's going to be the guy in the next 4 or 5 years, the Randy Orton or the the whatever we have. But I'm all for this match.
Just a bit of news there. I wonder what you make of this. Pat McAfee will no longer be commentating, and Dave, Stu Bennett, Wade Barrett, and Michael Cole are the permanent commentators moving forward. They've announced it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's upsetting because I fucking love Pat McAfee. So because he brings that personality and like excitement to the commentators. So does Stu Bennett as well, or Wade Barrett, that's his name now. But it's upsetting to say. I hope they do something with Pat McAfee.
Yeah. I think that's all the news I had anyway on my end.
Has something happened with Pat? Has bridges been burnt?
No, I think did he sign on for some football thing?
He did, but like he will come back and do other stuff too, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he made an appearance there at was it the Rumble, was it? Yeah.
Also as well, this whole Bray Wyatt situation. I don't know what's going on, and it's a lot of stories are kind of mixed. Nobody seems to know the full thing. If
there's a few, I'm going to throw one or two stories I read. Right, there's a story that he is being a prima donna, and then there's a story then there's serious shit going on.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he's okay. First of all, I'm hoping that it's that's something that's not affecting him terribly, and I'm hoping that he comes back because they do invest a lot of time into Bray. But if it's the other side of it, then where he's not happy creatively or just this and that, I'm kind of like he kind of had his way. He got to do what he wanted to do, and he just don't want to stop now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think personally, though, I think it must be something very personal going on.
I feel bad for Bobby Lashley because he is nothing now.
Yeah. No,
Bobby should be in the match with the voice.
Yeah.
Oh no, I hope all the best for Bray Wyatt. Like, I mean, he's a huge supporter. Like, so, and there's my dad. What's the crap? There's Dad. Dad. What do you think of Bray Wyatt in WWE at the moment?
I think he'll be on the rugby team and will win.
He'll be on the rugby team and win the ocean. Okay. You heard it, folks, lads. Bray Wyatt will be on the Irish rugby team and we're going to win today. So, how bad?
all the way from y'all. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's always good to get the input. But yeah, that rounds up, I suppose, another weekly show, guys. We got a few topics out. We discuss all the things, all elite, WWE.
Actually, there's one story that has just come out, I suppose, that I've just spotted, just really quickly. Mercedes Moné to leave New Japan very soon.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
She's coming to OTT.
I don't know. It just says that she will be finishing up soon.
Oh, Tim will love this.
We don't know, but she's a champion, so it's a weird one.
Yeah. I know. After all the things we all hear about New Japan these days, it's like, should it be a surprise? But be interesting if she be here in OTT. That's just me saying out loud. That's pretty much all we have to talk about this week. There's so much going on, especially with Mania season. But lads, cheers for watching. Don't forget to see all the past interviews, great interviews with Impact, and of course our past interviews when we were at No Limits Wrestling talking about OTT. Lads, that's the wrap up. Anyone?
Go Martina.
Go Martina, go Debbie. I can't be one-sided because it'll get me in a lot of fucking trouble. I'll be getting stares because they do watch the show. I've often said something like someone's going to lose and I get that little fucking look backstage. That's that motherfucker that said I was going to lose. So I'm very careful these days. I'm team OTT and team everyone, and I hope they all have a great match.